An empowered woman is someone who empowers others as well. Our guest for today took her love for Mother Nature and the ocean to another level by giving back to coastal communities and providing more livelihood to fisherfolk. Through her local businesses and passion projects, environmentalist, social entrepreneur, and philanthropist, Gela Petines hopes to help preserve the beauty of the ocean and, of course, at the same time, help the fishing communities. And Gela is with us right now here on New Day. Good morning to you, Gela, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, hi.
There you go. So connections have been established. Gela, wow, I've seen, the pictures and interviews that you've had diving as a little girl, scuba diving and enjoying the ocean as a little girl. You've always loved nature. In fact, actually more than 6 years ago, we understand you founded eco travel agency, Reef Nomads, to promote responsible skin diving. Oh my gosh. And of course, this also helps to reconnect the beauty or people to the beauty of the ocean. But, you just didn't stop there. You and the passionate people behind Reef Nomads started Reef Picks. So tell us a little bit about Reef Picks and what is your goal of this business of yours?
So Reef Picks was a spin-off from that diving initiative. So from ecotourism, where we train the fisherfolk of Isla Verde, Batangas in community-based tourism, we had to pivot because of the pandemic. So we revived the buri weaving industry of the island, and we also pay them to pick up sea glass, which is broken glass that's weathered by the sea for so many years, and then we turn them into jewelry for us to sell, so that the locals have a higher income. For not just because of the pandemic, but we really want them to succeed in life, have bank accounts, and hopefully one day double or even triple their income from less than 5,000 pesos per household per month to hopefully 10 to 15,000 pesos per household per month, because they deserve to live as dignified lives as any other human being.
Okay, let's rewind just a little bit. Of course, you gave them an alternative. Everyone was affected by the pandemic. And tell us a little bit about the case for the people at the Verde Island. At some point, actually, people stopped traveling. And of course, your ecotourism initiatives was put on hold like everything else. So tell us a little bit about the state of the people living in Verde Island, during that whole halt of traveling and scuba diving.
It got much worse because pre-pandemic, the income per household per month on Isla Verde, Batangas was already less than 5,000 pesos. And each household has, of course, multiple children to support. And less than 5,000 pesos income per month is not enough. When the pandemic happened, it became much less. And then a lot of factory workers and other kind of blue-collar jobs, the locals had to go back to the island, jobless, no income. So it was really a devastating time for all of us in 2020. And thankfully, the stars aligned, and then we thought of ways to adapt to the times. And we discovered there's an abundant supply of sea glass, which we could turn into jewelry, which people love because each piece is unique. There's never the same kind of each jewelry because there are different colors and shapes. And what's amazing is that a sea glass piece, a sea glass jewelry, which I'm actually wearing now, we don't know how long it's been around because some colors, like for example, black, it's called pirate's glass. It's been around in the 1800s and earlier, and it hasn't been reproduced since. So these are really amazing historical relics.
It's like you gave them, it's like everybody actually on that island was starting from scratch, learning a new skill, or maybe only a few people knew how to weave and do other things, and all of a sudden you have established actually a business for them. And, maybe a lot of people aren't so familiar about the biodiversity, of the Verde Island, which is something amazing. And, Paula and I were just talking about this, like, oh my gosh, we have to get out there. We as Filipinos haven't really been there. And summer. I mean, summer is almost here, and many of us actually want to go to the beach. Things are opening up again, wanting to explore. Your tips on how we can help save the ocean as well and shift to a more environmental friendly lifestyle.
I love that you mentioned about the biodiversity there because Isla Verde is actually situated at the center of marine biodiversity in the world. So, in simple terms, we have the most number of marine life species on the planet, and it's only 2 hours away from Manila. Everyone should be able to see this while it's still here. If you do want to visit and try to snorkel or dive Batangas, the Verde Island Passage, I highly recommend that you practice sustainable tourism practices, such as taking whatever you need to dispose of in your trip back with you. If there are no proper segregation bins in place, especially if you are visiting islands, because unlike in Manila, there are no collection systems in place like the trucks that go around here in the city. So reduce your waste, especially plastics, because they last for so many hundreds of years before they actually degrade. And of course, it's better to use reusables rather than things that are disposed of, like single use sachets for shampoos. In Refix, we actually sell shampoo bars which could last 3 months. So those little changes really make a big difference.
I mean, wonderful. I'm so inspired just looking at all your pictures. I mean, you're such a beautiful mermaid in the ocean, and how much you love and how much you enjoy taking care of the ocean for us. Thank you so much, Gela. I mean, happy Women's Month to you. Thank you so much for empowering so many people, and of course, for joining us this morning here on New Day.